But we want to start off with some of the highlights of last night. So a lot of us here at TYT were waiting to hear what Shawn Fain, obviously union leader, was going to say at the convention last night. And we're not going to go through like his whole speech or anything like that. I just wanted to focus on one moment because I think the theme of his remarks were about, obviously we need to be more supportive of unions. It should be a big part of this election. But in particular, he seemed to want to trigger Donald Trump. And I feel like he's going to have succeeded at that, particularly with moments like this.
In the words of the great American poet, Nellie, it's getting hot in here.
So look, it's a great line. Trump's a scab. The fact that he has the shirt and he's sort of matching the Hulk Hogan reveal from the RNC is great. So that was great, and it was a great speech. The only critique I would make is, I think that saying Trump is a scab is giving Trump too much, because that's implying that he would work even as a scab. No, he's not a scab. He's the guy that would fire the striking workers. But anyway, it's a good line.
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
And won't pay for labor. I think that that's the other thing. We know that he doesn't pay his bills, and that affects people's wallets.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw the Fain speech in full, but what do you make of that moment and the focus on portraying him as a scab, or even just philosophically trying to trigger him in that way?
Well, I think it is in part to trigger him, but it's also to energize the union members. I mean, that's going to be a lot of the heavy lifting. I mean, I think that when you saw that rally in Eau Claire for Vice President Harris and Governor Walz, a lot of that were union members, and we want them to come out because they do in Chicago. I mean, it is a massive movement, and so I think that was part of that as well. It was like when you use the word scab. I mean, in Chicago, there are people that still won't talk to each other from the 1979, I think it was 1979 firefighters strike. So I mean, in Chicago in particular, I think we're not far from the Haymarket riots right here. So I think that was part of that. And scab is a punch to that as well. So I think it's both for the base and to poke. Troll Trump.
Well, and I like that he also focused on, like, I knew that at various points Joe Biden had, participated. He'd like walk the picket lines, but I didn't know that Harris had done that. I guess I missed that when it happened. So, even I was learning something about her biography. Did you find it to be like, obviously it's a thing that they want to appeal to union members, need, union workers. Do you feel like it's an effective pitch? How do you think they're doing according to that vote?
I think so. Look, I mean, and we're not, I'm a union member with SAG-AFTRA. We're not a monolithic group, obviously. In particular, you run into, when I talk to folks in Chicago, there are a lot of Second Amendment, right? Folks who are like, I don't want them to take our guns. That's all Democrats want to do. And there are other issues. Abortion is important to some folks who are conservative and yet union members. I think that we try to push that. I think reminding folks that it is your wallet, it's your livelihood, it's your ability to take care of your family and stay in your home. And a presidency under Trump again threatens that.
Yeah, I think so. And what I'm hoping for is, if it does trigger him, Donald Trump is likely to double down on, he's going to hate Shawn Fain. He's going to attack Shawn Fain, attack the unions, and we'll see how that works for him. But it would be consistent with the way that the right, and especially like Fox News, has talked about unions for literally decades.
Yeah, and Shawn Fain is great at messaging, at getting, I mean, look at last year, the UAW, and places where we never thought we would have unions at auto shops, auto plants in Tennessee. I mean, we've had some hurdles in other parts of the country. SAG-AFTRA, they were the trades. I will tell you, I was so proud to be a part of the strikes here. I'm a strike captain, and the trades, the nurses unions came out. The air. I can't talk right now. I need more coffee. The stewardesses. No, well, and that's the thing too. I think that reminding folks that since Reagan, when he was busting the union and firing the air traffic controllers and gave corporations the ability to fire striking workers. And he said that last week, didn't he? He said that, to Elon Musk. Yeah, if they're going to go on strike, well, we should just fire them, which is against the law.
Yeah. I liked it as a moment of right-wing populism, though. Two billionaires laughing about how awesome it is to fire striking workers. I thought that was very populist, and it's good that the silent workers are finally being heard by the right. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.